Hello Internet, and welcome back to my Sky Island series. Now, in the last episode we turned our attention away from expeditions and decided instead to focus on our base. This mostly just meant using the Zone Manager tool to sort a lot of our loot so we can kind of get an eye on all the things that we still need. We also read all of our books just to get access to the recipes that they contain. We sort of set up this one room as our crafting area, and hopefully, moving forward we can continue adding piles and expanding this room as necessary. And then finally I turned my attention to setting up a rudimentary power grid for our base. This included setting up a solar panel on the Sky Island itself, as well as a battery downstairs. Now, unfortunately at the end there we hit a bit of a snag trying to put together a box charger, but we're gonna figure that out in this episode. So for now, everyone, welcome back to the series. Hello. Hopefully you're having a nice time. I remember we left off trying to craft a soldering iron, which I don't remember if we did that. I don't think we did. That's right, because we weren't sure if we had electronic scraps. We might have to harvest some electronics, maybe a laptop or whatever, to try and find an extra piece there for us to use. And then we should have duct tape somewhere. I'm not sure why it's not down here. I would guess actually didn't duct tape previously be, okay, can't speak English, wasn't duct tape previously considered ammunition? So if we look for duct tape, actually we'll go to the all menu here, clear that filter, and hit duct tape. Someone did tell me there's a hotkey for resetting the filter. It looks like it's lowercase r or capital R. I'll try to remember that. So we'll take the duct tape downstairs. Yeah, last I checked this was considered ammo. It looks like the category is other, and that was because it can be used as ammo in a miscellaneous repair kit or whatever it's called. So let's grab the cardboard rolls of duct tape and we'll head down here and we'll drop them just sort of here is fine. We just want them, nearby because they are a relatively common crafting material. And then let's have a look to see, I would guess electronic scraps are considered spare parts, so they would be here. Collection of resistors, capacitors, diodes, which has been stripped from printed circuits. So I'm assuming that if we deconstruct the majority of electronics, we'll probably get some of that stuff. So let's head upstairs and have a look at what electronics we have. Should have done this when we were up here. By the way, my keyboard, I was looking to try and move my keyboard so you hear less of the click clack, but honestly I don't know what to do about that. Because of my mic placement, it's near my face, but my face is also near my keyboard, and there's really, because I'm limited by how far my arms reach, there's really nowhere for me to put this keyboard that's away from the microphone. But I have noticed like it is clacking a lot more in episodes. Hopefully that doesn't bother people, but it probably does. It would bother me. So let's look for, man, I don't even know what to look for. I know we brought back laptops. How many laptops do we have? Oh, they're tools actually, so they would be downstairs. Let's just continue walking up and down this hallway repeatedly until I figure out what I'm looking for. So we only have one laptop. I really thought we brought more than that. It's possible I was dropping them as our, stuff got full and we just grabbed the batteries instead, is most likely what happened. And if we look for, man, I don't even know what we would take apart. How many flashlights do we have? 3. I'm not even sure you would get something from that. Did we even pick up any cell phones? If I just look for phone, we have 2 smartphones. Can you be taken apart for electronic scraps? Made of plastic and aluminum. I'm not sure where I should be looking for this. Turns into smartphone. Disassembly would be 3 minutes, would yield scrap aluminum, light battery, LCD screen, memory card, 1 processor board. I'm wondering if taking apart the processor board would then give us electronic scrap. So let's take a smartphone, and I guess we'll just do this here. Actually, I'm not sure if it's disassembly or butchery, so let's just do it from our inventory. Why do I have so many books in my inventory? Come on, man, you're supposed to drop them when you're done reading them, so we'll drop all of that. Yeah, sorry, fumbling around. Also, yeah, this week has been like super crazy terrible, so I might be a little out of sorts, and I do apologize for that, but it's just one of those weeks. I actually feel pretty guilty for even playing a game because things have been a bit like really difficult for a family member of mine, and I feel like I should be doing more to help them while they are in their crisis. Oh, it put it on the table. That's where that stuff went. My family member is kind of in the middle of a crisis. We're not sure, is she going to end up living on the street? We're trying to scramble and help where we can. And then there was an incident with their current roommate who is like pushing them out of their apartment because they're not on a lease, so they have like no rights basically. So they moved in with a roommate and were told, hey, we're going to be here for about about 6 months, and then I'm moving out of state, so you can stay here for 6 months. Then it became, hey, I'm gonna need you to pay me, and by the way, you're leaving in 30 days, not 6 months. And then finally it became, hey, I actually, unless you give me money today, I want you out of this apartment today. And then there was an incident with the roommate having a knife, and it's like a whole dramatic, horrifying situation that I maybe shouldn't even talk about, but like worried about that family member, concerned about their well-being and where they're going to end up. So we do get 3 electronic scraps from this processor board, so we'll just take that apart. Maybe that's valuable, but it comes from a smartphone, so we can just pick up a million of those if we need them later. So we now have electronic scrap, which means we can now make the soldering iron, and yeah, we'll just do that. Takes about an hour. What time of day is it, by the way? It is 9 p.m. I'm not sure how long we'll be up here, but you know, I want to do some more stuff at the base before we go on another expedition. So we'll do this until I kind of get bored, and then we'll, you know, tomorrow we'll do a new expedition or whatever. So let's craft this soldering iron. Yes, so just a little concerned about my family member. I'm feeling guilty because I don't have money to help them, and our house is not a place where they can, you know, come to live. And so I'm just a little stressed out, and then I'm trying to communicate with them by phone, but they're dealing with their stuff. I'm dealing with some personal, like, me stuff anyway. And so mostly I'm just having like a weird time here. So unfortunately, it looks like that light battery we took out of the phone immediately reverted to 0 charge. I'm not sure why that happened, if it was 0 to begin with, or if that's just what it gives when you disassemble. So it might have been better to take that battery out of the phone before we took it apart like that, but that's okay. So now we do need to load our soldering iron with a battery, I believe is how that works. So I'm looking for, nope, can't reload the soldering iron. So if I look at my soldering iron, how do I power you? Device with a metal tip that can get very hot, has a short cable that you can plug into your grid. Yeah, but does it not have a battery pouch anymore, like a place to accommodate a battery? Can be plugged in 3. Okay, well, I mean, we have the power system now. We just don't have anywhere that it's going to, and it's nighttime, so we don't currently have any charge. So maybe we can't do this evening. I really thought these could still hold batteries. Plug in, manage cables, repair. It doesn't look like I can use this currently, unless I'm missing a spot here where it says about a battery. Look, doesn't matter. I don't want to sit here and fiddle with it. So we will just find our tools pile again, and we will drop the soldering iron. We can do that in the morning. Unfortunately, we're not really tired, so we can't sleep. So we're going to make the box charger, which is like the only other thing I was thinking about making for the power grid at this time. And then once we had the charger, we would hook it in. But now that I'm thinking about it, you know, we do want power up here, because if we bring power up to this room, then we can use these power tools by plugging them into our grid. And we have an extension cord / jumper cable / whatever, so we can bridge this gap here. It's just a question of what do we connect it to, because we can't just run the cord up here and drop it. We actually have to have it plugged into something else, I think. Why don't we grab that extension cord and let's find out how these work, because maybe you can just drop it on the ground. Let's activate the extension cord, plug it into the battery, and then if we just walk up here, it doesn't tell me, okay, extension cord stretched to the limit, so let's drop it here. Drop your extension cord. So can I plug in the soldering iron directly to this, or do I need a cart or something? No, it dropped 1 of 10 cable. So activate the soldering iron, plug in, attach to, yeah, you can't attach that way. It would need a cart or some other electronic device up here for us to plug into. I mean, we could just put we can't strip the walls, but we can put wires on the wall and just plug this into that wire, and then that would, you know, create a spot here on the wall that we could plug into. Again, I don't really think this is a problem for right now. I was just thinking like maybe we could sort it now. Okay, so if we can't do power stuff, what else would we do? Oh, by the way, in the last episode I was talking about, oh, we needed fab for something. That was actually the forge I was trying to remember we needed fabrication for. The Rock Forge is Fab 5 apparently, which is high. We don't have, Fab 5. We're nowhere close. I think we have Fab 2 currently. In fact, didn't we raise that in the last episode up to Fab 2? Can't see. I have crap on my desk that's blocking this particular portion of my screen. Where's fabrication? Fab 2 at 92%. All right. Well, what would we even raise our skills? I mean, Fab 3 is like a good one to work towards just in general because we're so close to it to begin with, and that's why we brought back extra wood, because we were hoping we could craft some things out of wood to maybe build up our fab a little bit. We can of course read books, but I'm not sure that that's directly beneficial here. We did also want to make bandages, so we could do that because all that requires is boiling water. We don't need power for that. Let's have a look at our books. Handguns, food handling, piercing. I wish these were sorted. Can we sort these by category? Oh good lord. What did this even... Okay, doesn't matter. So we'll just look at them this way, I guess. So a lot of piercing weapons, computers, devices, food handling, rifles, social tailoring, shotguns, computers, healthcare, piercing weapons again, rifles again. So no handgun books, it looks like. No direct marksman books, only rifle books. We did talk about raising computers, but it's actually a pretty... Oh, actually there is a handgun book. I just am blind. We were talking about raising computers so that we could look through electronics, but it's actually a pretty low value skill, so I don't think that's a particularly productive use of our time. Getting handguns up, I would like to, at some point, because we neglected our mission previously where we were just going to go and gather carcasses, I was thinking maybe one of these trips we just basically strip out of everything, take one of our low value rifles or whatever, or handguns, and go down there and just start shooting birds until we get it, and then we can come right back on the expedition and that'll be the whole expedition. But I don't know. Is our handguns really not one? Didn't we use a handgun a fair bit? I guess not. And like no good low tier fab books that we could read either. We have high level fab books, but they're all things we can't understand, like Mechanical Mastery, is a high tier like mechanics book, and fabrication book, apparently Artillery of the Ancients. I thought we had another high... What was the other high level fab book I thought we had? Bowyer's Buddy? No, that's not it. So maybe we didn't pick up a good fab book. I really thought we did. Maybe I was thinking of Mechanical Mastery. All right, regardless, looking at this screen too much. Let's just see what we can do with craft raising our fabrication. So P-Fab here. That's right, we were looking at crossbow bolts and things like that to make arrows to raise our fabrication to 3. That's why I was grabbing all those extra cash cards as well, because we could use them for fletching. And fun fact, it looks like they're going to be turning off the ability to use cash cards for vending machines, probably gas stations in the long term, and also ATMs. Seems like something people have been talking about, and someone did make a PR to start that process. So cash cards are going to quickly become pretty much a worthless item in the game anyway. So okay, Fab 3, let's see what we got here. We can make simple game arrows. We need super glue or plant fiber or duct tape. We don't want to use our duct tape, but so we can make 6 of these with plant fiber. We have all the wood components. None of that is a concern. We have feathers because we found some feathers on a I forget where that was. I think a radio tower is where we found that, and that's all we need for crafting. So yeah, these look like a good option. I bet they take a long time. Yeah, it takes an hour to craft these, but it will raise our fabrication, and it looks like it works up our fletching proficiency and carving proficiency. Our focus is currently 18. We surely have an MP3 player. I forgot to use this in the last episode, so let's grab that and we'll unload. Let's move away from the pile, unload our MP3 player, and then move closer and reload the MP3 player. That's right, our batteries are still upstairs. Actually, there are some here, correct? So we'll use a light disposable for the time being, and we will crank up that music to try and balance out our negative morale stuff as we lose focus, basically, crafting. It's not going to do much, but it's something. So let's do PFAB again. And we'll just make these small game arrows, which are worthless, by the way. We're never going to use these. Is it seriously an hour per arrow? No, it's 10 per hour. Okay. Yeah, we're going to make these. It's not going to do a lot for us. It's obviously a pretty useless item. We're not going to be using archery. And if we did use archery, we definitely are not using simple wooden game arrows. They're terrible. So I think we're just going to craft this to try and raise our fab. We'll probably get tired. These are blank. Why? Why is this blank? Soup. Oh, there's 3 recipes. Okay, so one of the recipes is just a plank and duct tape. We don't want that. No, this one requires duct tape as well. Here is the plant fiber one we were just thinking of, and we will use, I guess, planks because we have more planks, even though it's like a much more of a waste of wood than a stick. I guess we'll use sticks. I don't know. I feel like sticks can be crafted into more things than planks can, but I have no idea. So, okay, so let's use the plant fiber. Let's use plank. I don't know. And we'll use the feathers, and it'll take an hour. You listen to some gospel chant. We did hit Fab 3, so that's something, which means these are no longer craftable for us to raise our skill. Oh, actually, it looks like they are because we're at Fab 3 with 8%, which is surprising because I thought it said it was only up to Fab 3. I must have misread that. I guess we'll just keep crafting those. I do want to take a look at the list. Maybe there's a better, lower like material requirement thing. Crafter cannot craft this because they lack the theoretical knowledge to understand the recipe. Well, then why is it in my list? So we can't make the makeshift ballistic plates or longbow, although I honestly, if I had made a longbow, I would have at least played with it for a second. So, you know, that's something. Cobbling. I mean, if we're going to be working on this kind of stuff, we should be looking for proficiencies that we actually care about as well. Armor smithing proficiency does seem really good, but I don't know that I want to spend all my scrap metal on this when it's kind of a pain to bring scrap metal back. It's one of the heavier, like all the metal materials are heavier than the wood materials, and we have the lumberjack bag, which cancels out the weight of the wood materials anyway, so I don't know, but scrap metal is easy to find. It takes 2 cotton patches, a long string. You know what, let's make it. It takes 3 hours. Probably we're not going to finish it before we get tired. It's going to be too small for us to wear. We don't care. We have a armor, like army helmet already. Anyway, it is Fab 3, so it should raise our skill to Fab 4, and it gets us the armor smithing proficiency, which we probably want over time, so we might as well work towards a proficiency we care about. Sure, man, I don't know. That's fine. I don't really know how we're turning 50 scrap pieces of metal into a helmet when we just have a hammer and a cutting tool, but sure. It makes no sense to me, but sure, let's do that. And we'll just craft here. You listen to some Christian narco thrash. Yeah, I don't know what half of these genres are. What kind of music do you listen to, internet? You know what I've been into lately, and it's like kind of weird and people don't like? Indie folk music. I've always hated country music. I've always hated folk music, but there's just something about, honestly, I think it's because I played Life is Strange like 3 years ago and loved that game at the time. And in hindsight, it's like not the best game in the world, but like the music in that was really good and I really enjoyed it. And then I looked up a bunch of the creators, and some of them were like indie folk people, indie pop people, stuff like that. And I, to my surprise, actually like really apparently love that kind of music. Very strange. Definitely does not fit my personality or my exterior appearance. You would not guess that from looking at me. So we made the pot helmet. It doesn't look like we hit Fab 4. I didn't really expect us to. I thought maybe in like 3 hours we could get close, but I didn't really expect it. And then I was curious, how much of the armor smithing proficiency did we actually learn here? None, it looks like, and I assume that's because we don't have some prerequisite, but it doesn't tell me what prerequisite I need. So if we go, isn't there, yeah, pop-up for this, but we can only see the ones that we have, so we can't even look up what the prerequisites are. It would be really nice if it just, like, would tell you. Like, just have a menu somewhere where you can look at the entire list of proficiencies and see what their prerequisites are. So I assume it's some form of like basic blacksmithing proficiency that we don't have, and I'm guessing someone tagged this with a proficiency of armor smithing because they maybe didn't understand that you're not really armor smithing. Like, again, not to like belabor it or crap on whoever made this, but you're taking a bunch of random pieces of scrap metal and you're forcing them together somehow magically with no forge or welding tool or anything like that, and you're just turning that into a helmet. Obviously that's not armor smithing, right? It just doesn't make sense for that to be armor smithing. So probably it's like blacksmithing or something we're missing. That's like a basic requirement. All right, well that's okay, I guess. We're still not tired. We are hungry. We might as well eat something. I don't remember if we ate. Oh, we brought our, no, we didn't bring our food down. I don't know if we brought, if we ate a multivitamin today, so we'll eat a multivitamin. And then let's just have a look at some old food here. I guess we'll just eat a meat pie. It looks like we're no longer hungry. Consume today, kilocalories none. So I assume we must be after midnight, and that's why it says none. So let's eat a meat pie. Low. Okay. I mean, it's weird to me that we can see the exact calorie count and vitamin count of every food item in the game, but then when we look at this menu, it gives you an abstracted value for how much you've consumed. So like, I just ate a meat pie. I know meat pies are exactly 400 calories and have a certain vitamin content, but then when I look at this menu, it's like, oh, you only ate a low amount of calories today. Yeah, but no, I ate 400. I know exactly how many I ate. Why would it give this abstracted? Doesn't matter. Anyway, then let's try to eat a fruit item, maybe get some more vitamins as well. What do we have that's fruit related? Well, what's yogurt got in it? I never eat dairy in this game. Calcium and a tiny bit of vitamin C. Tastes like vanilla. Okay, we'll eat a yogurt. And then let's have something to drink. We drink the apple cider, because again, vitamin C, mostly 167% from apple cider. So we'll drink some apple cider. It is sealed, but it doesn't matter. We'll just drink it again before it goes bad. Or it might even just be sealed in a plastic bottle, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, so it's now 1:40 in the morning. I would love for my character to sleep, but apparently we're not tired. So let's just settle in with a book this time, I guess, to raise our theoretical skill in something. Cooking really does not matter. Tailoring maybe eventually, but I just haven't used that skill in a very long time. Oh, we are now qualified to read the DIY compendium, which will raise our our theoretical fab much higher. So I guess we'll read that. Fabrication in general is just like a really great crafting skill to have. So 211 recipes in this thing. So let's read it for a second and then stop so we can just pick up the book automatically. And then I think we'll just like sit in bed. I don't know if this counts as a comfy place to relax and read, but we're just gonna read until we get tired now. Man, what can I even talk about that's like not a miserable thing going on in my life? Well, oh, I did tell you about I was talking to a pretty girl and I was having a nice time, and then she ghosted me, because that's what always happens. So that's like not a happy ending to that story. Like nothing good has been happening lately. Just been feeling a little not great, and some mental health stuff for me personally and family and all that stuff. So it's like it's not been great. Things have not been great. Let's drop, I guess I'll favorite the MP3 player so we have that on us all the time. And we can just drop the lantern by the bed, it doesn't matter. So we're gonna try to sleep, but it's basically morning now. I'm a little annoyed by how our character seems to have not gotten tired at all until 4:40 in the morning. Previously, when I played this game, if you tried to sleep when you were like not tired, it was basically impossible. I don't know if that's still the case. Maybe we could have gone to bed a few hours ago, but for now we'll go to bed. I don't have a blindfold, but I think we slept here before in the daylight, so let's just try to sleep and hopefully we don't get woken up. And then honestly, I normally sleep without an alarm because I'm just like, we should sleep as long as possible, especially now that health is affected by having a good night's sleep. But we don't want to lose the whole day because we can only go on expeditions during the day. We don't want to go out during the night mostly. So maybe we only sleep for like 5 hours. That would put us till like 10 a.m. We'll go 6 hours because it's like a reasonable amount of sleep for a person to function on. And then hopefully we'll be tired tomorrow night in a much more like reasonable time. So we sleep a little bit better. So we'll just sleep. There's really nothing else we can do in the Sky Island in terms of upgrades. I do think we're going to do one expedition where we just hunt carcasses like we discussed previously, and then really we're looking for a shovel. A shovel is not, I looked it up by the way many episodes ago when we first decided that we needed a shovel. They're not really craftable. You need a forge. We're not going to be able to do that. They do spawn in a lot of like not super common places, so we probably are not going to find a hardware store. We're probably not going to come across a real shovel. It is disappointing that you can't use the excavation tool for that, but I also understand, it's a game where you have to pick a requirement, so whatever. Oh hey, we slept through our alarm, so that's fun. It's 14:47 when we were trying to get up at 10 a.m. It looks like you slept through your alarm. Yeah, I sure did. I do have the poor hearing trait, so I guess, did I have music in my ears? I don't think I did. You feel cruddy. Maybe you should consider eating a bit healthier. So we actually got this message the first day we slept, and it doesn't really make sense because we've been eating vitamins, including literal vitamins, as well as the vitamins in our food. We have been sleeping 8 hours a day. We have not been taking damage in combat, so it's not like we're unhealthy because we're like our wounds are infected or something like that. We just, for some reason, are getting these messages that we are not eating healthy, which I don't really understand. I think there's a calorie journal in the debug menu somewhere where we could look. Maybe I'm under eating, maybe it's something like that. Okay, so here is it'll show basically our exertion over the last few days as well as the calories that we consumed. So it looks like minutes at each exercise level. So apparently day 2 we only slept 50 minutes. That can't be correct. I don't know why that would say that. And then our exertion levels have been relatively low. We really don't have any huge concerns. We weren't in melee combat all that much, although yesterday obviously we did a ton of walking around the countryside. It looks like we ate a reasonable amount of calories, but we spent a lot from all of our walking, so we are at a calorie deficit. So maybe I should focus more on eating more calories, I guess, would be, you should do that. So before we leave here, we'll eat a bunch of food, and then while we're down on expedition, we'll eat even more, ideally, I guess. I mean, I didn't realize we were in that, 600 calorie deficit. Wasn't expected, but also this is debug information. I don't know, someone might have a problem with me looking at this. I don't see an issue. It's literally, it just shows me my calories and stuff. See, I'm not 100%. Oh, we're getting... What? Specific creature okay, I don't know what... Oh, this is going to give me a lot of game info. Okay, none of that I don't want. I don't want any of that. So let's re-enable achievements, just so we get achievement pop-ups. So game, what is it? Enable achievements. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so I don't know why we're getting health messages when we've been eating vitamins, and obviously we're active. Obviously we're eating, albeit, at a deficit. Maybe it's just the calorie deficit, I'm not sure. So let's eat a couple more meat pies because they are very calorically dense. They're 400 calories each, that's why we took them. And then we'll drink more of that cider just to get some vitamin C and know that we have enough of those vitamins. We did lose most of the day through sleeping through our alarm, so I think we should probably rush out on an expedition, assuming the sun goes down 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night. We can maybe get 2 expeditions in today, but yeah, sleeping through that alarm is a bummer. I guess that's the hard of hearing thing at work. What are you gonna do? So I'm not really sure what else we can do to benefit our health here. We didn't really eat unhealthy food. We had that one beer, I think, is all we had. So I don't know. Some granola. Oh, we're still thirsty. Okay, so let's just drink some more water here. And so we're full up here. I'm frustrated, but let's check our battery and make sure that it's storing power as it should be. It is indeed, so we're at 57% power already. Obviously, that's like most of the day charging. So we do want more solar panels in the long term, but currently this is obviously, it's plenty for our tiny little base. So maybe we can also look at setting up a lamp as well. I don't think you can craft a lamp. I know you can make, if we go, actually we want to check the construction menu, and we'll just head over to the appliances tab, and we'll look for anything that's a light, because some of these will be craftable, but others will require us to disconnect appliances down on like Earth's side and then bring them back, which might be a problem. So like the one I know is standing lamp, but a standing lamp requires you to basically grab a standing lamp from a house and carry it with you, and I'm assuming that's too big for a backpack, so probably we can't do that. But we can look at the other appliances and see if there's anything. So like a floodlight, right? We can make these floodlights. I'm pretty sure you can craft those floodlights, and I'm not sure, actually I don't think there are very many lights. I think there's only like 1 or 2. So a wall light requires a disconnected wall light, which is probably craftable. No, don't type what you're saying, type wall light like a normal person. So this requires the soldering iron, which we do have now, albeit, we are limited in solder. It only requires 5 solder. We would need an amplifier circuit and a light bulb. I've never seen a light bulb in the game before. I didn't know we had light bulbs, so that's a new one to me, but we can probably, again, just take apart a lamp down on Earth's side or something. Okay, Well, yeah, we want to get lights in here. That way we can stop using the lantern. Eventually we're going to want a stove and all that kind of stuff, but that's way down the line when we have better skills. Just don't know about this whole health thing. Has got me a little concerned. It's not going to mean much in terms of the game, but I'm not happy with it because I don't understand it, and I hate not understanding things. And believe me, in my life, dumb as I am, there's a lot of things I don't understand, and they're all very frustrating. So I'm not sure why our perception is down. I guess the glare in our eyes. Okay, so I guess we just prep for a next expedition. Do we want it to be a normal expedition or go for carcasses? I don't know. You know what we should call the episode? Man, we got nothing done today. You know what bothers me about this series? So I believe this is episode 28, and if not, it's close to 28. I don't know. Which means we've been playing the game between probably 14 and 17 hours at this point, and it's day 3, and I feel like I've made no progress at all. Now, in reality, we've made tons of progress, and in fact, in the last episode, we just got our base's power set up, which is like a really cool, step in making this our proper home. But man, to invest that much time and be on day 3, I'm shocked. I play very slow, plus I'm talking to you and whatever. Anyway, I think we're gonna call the episode here. I don't know what we're gonna do in the next episode. Probably go down Earthside and see if we can, maybe we'll go for light bulbs. I don't know. But for now, that's it. Everyone, thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this ridiculous episode, and I'll be back soon with more content.